right? Shalom. First and foremost, we give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Sham, Yahawashi, Qadash. We want to give double honors to our Apostle Ellis Ray Millstone, who teach very well. We want this true crime and sanitation out there to the hopeful elect who continue to push this word in our true faith and sincerity, man. And yeah, here we are again, week in and week out to prophesy against this wicked place known as Babylon the Great, man. And this is where the lake of fire is going to be. You know, people want you to think hell is going to be in the Middle East. They want you to basically be in the mindset of being comfortable here instead of having your mindset being comfortable with Yahawashi under the rule. You know, Papa Rashad brother can't give me Romans 12 and 2. Because at the end of the day, comfortability is your biggest enemy here in the valley of the shadow of death, man. Because soon as you're comfortable, you're in a death mind state. And ultimately, your body is prepared for the missiles. You got it.
Romans 12, verse 2. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind.
Right there, he says, be ye not conformed to this world. Bible Messiah, you can look at that word conform. It says, be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed into the renewing of your mind. And that's the spirit of us, man. We have been transformed because we actually have been sparked by Yahawashi by remembering who we are. You know, once you was a black, a Latino, a Native American, you know, you was actually claiming to be of the world for the lack of better words. You carried yourself in that way. But when this truth came, actions came, man. You got to say.
It says, outline of biblical usage, conform. In the Greek, suske matizo. To conform oneself, i.e., one's mind and character.
One's mind and character. So instead of you're modeling yourself after Yahawashi, now you're modeling yourself after the so-called white man. Even when you go into like gangsters, niggas like Ice Cube, even you go into boondocks, gangsterlicious, even though they might have the skin of melanin, that's a product of Esau. Got it?
To conform oneself, i.e. one's mind and character to another's pattern.
Yeah, to another's pattern, not of the pattern of Yahawah Yahawashi, no, but the pattern of the world. And that's what Esau wants you to be in, and that's why it will make you more easier to conform into their philosophies. Once you conform into their ways, you know, you like the, you know, the entertainment, you like the system in this place, so the things they feed you, you're going to intake it more better, you know? Yeah.
It says, fashion oneself according to.
Yeah, fashion oneself according to. And a lot of our people that's went on this track have fashioned themselves according to the so-called white man. And it's evident. You know, I think that was on there.
I got some. 1 Peter 1 and 14. As obedient children, not fashioning yourselves according to the form of lust in your ignorance.
Yeah, it says as obedient children. Because the Lord have given us a commandment to flee from this place. And not flee from this place physically, but from your mindset and from your ways. Papa Shai, you read that again?
May I grab it in the NLT? 1 Peter 1:14 NLT. So you must live as Yahweh's obedient children. Don't slip back into your old ways of living to satisfy your own desire.
And that's it. We supposed to be living as Yahawah. We don't supposed to be living as African Americans or fucking niggas, man. Or Native Americans, you know. We're supposed to be damn idiots up here, man. We're supposed to be the royal people that's finna get ready to rule, man. And again, it's a process with that, man. That shit don't happen overnight. You got it?
Said you didn't know any better then.
Yeah, you didn't know any better because again, for lack of better words, in this captivity, in this society, this is the worst that we have ever been. You know, it's been a lot of twists and turns, you know, in the nation of Israel. We turn to the left and we turn back straight, then we turn to the right and we turn back straight. But this time, we completely did a 180 on the Lord. Our face was completely tucked away towards Yahawah Yahawashi, man. That's why it says of the lust of the world. But now we're in the time that we're returning back into Him, you know?
Man, you're more advanced now than you used to be. That's why you didn't know any better. Now you know better. You're supposed to do better. So, but now you must be holy in everything you do, just as Yahawah who chose you is holy.
See? And say, must be holy in everything you do. That's even about your every day by day, for the lack of better words. You know?
I got some for you real quick.
Yeah.
Book of Matthew, chapter 18, starting at verse 2. And Yahawashi called a little child unto him and set him in the midst of them, and said, Verily I say unto you, except you be converted and become as little children, you should not enter into the kingdom of heaven.
Now, if I may add, because some people say, yeah, we got to, nigga Christian. I say, yeah, we got to die, and then we got to come back in. No, bro. That being converted as children is actually in your mindset. Because one thing about a child, you can get on the child's ass, and then the next time he see you, he's still happy to see you, man. But basically being humble. One thing about a child is one of the most humble beings upon the planet Earth. You know? Whether you Lord or not. Yeah.
Right, verse 4. It said, Whosoever therefore shall humble himself as his little child, the same is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven.
Yeah, whoever humbles himself as his little child, the same is the greatest, because whoever exalts himself shall be exalted, and shall be abased, man. And whoever be abased shall be exalted. That is the seesaw, the scale of the Yahawashi. You know, you got the justice lady. She can't see nothing. She can't hear. The only thing she can feel is which way is high and which way is low, man. You know?
Yeah,
got something?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, the humiliation is a heavy part of being accepted in the eyes of the Lord. Because it's not like you just jump this. No, bro. You have to clean yourself up for your Yahawashi. You go on a date with a bride, if she come out with you with a bunny on, you're going to tell the bitch to go back in the house. And the same thing with us. If you come out as your quote unquote like a raw diamond, your raw self, then Lord gonna say, hey man, I can't fuck with this. You gotta get polished up.
Oh man, yeah. Nigga got a chain on. He's like, yo, these all raw diamonds, real diamonds, nigga. But they all dirty and nasty looking. They ain't got no shine to them. You can be like, alright, they ain't polished up. They ain't ready though.
That's it.
You can be like, what you mean? These are 100% straight from the earth, nigga. You can be like, nah, they ain't it though. So the same way, man, you over here trying to bring your old self back in the truth. You're trying to find a way to loophole your old self into the truth, man. You gotta be alright with being brand new for it. And guess what? Everybody you know don't want you to be brand new. Because they still in the world anyway. They comfortable with who you used to be. They have one up on you and this, that, and the third, but here it is, the Lord, Yahawashi trying to change you, make you better, and you resisting against your own prosperity. Go figure. No wonder why you wasn't shit in the world, because you can't be shit in the truth either. Because you always abstinent about people, how people feel about you and this, that, and the third. No, you got to be okay with the Yahawashi renewing you daily and getting rid of that dross and that extra shit. You got it, bro.
Because it's really like we better than these people. If a brother can't give me that first Peter 4:1. Get that first Peter 4 in verse 1. Because again, once you don't go with the flow of this society, people look at you crazy. And to be honest, man, F what people think, man. Forget what these people think, because at the end of the day, these people do not declare your salvation, man. A lot of these people are bugged out, on drugs. Niggas don't know, bitches don't know who their baby daddy is, but they want to tell you to get it out there. Man, fuck that, man. The money is gonna crash. We can see Trump is building this damn golden dome. We can see all things are wrapping up towards the end. So why the fuck should we be in the mindset of caring about what another nigga think, man? That's why even the Lord said, work out your own salvation with fear and trouble. Because I can't get in your mind, you can't get in my mind, so what the fuck? You see what I'm saying? Why the fuck would you even try to overly convince somebody of the world to try to get this understanding, man?
Amazing. Say, all they on favor should die, they on favor.
That's it, though.
If I may, because like the scriptures is sure. When you've been given an understanding, man, we know that the prophecy is sure. As far as America being destroyed, becoming a lake of fire. So who gives a fuck about an opinion of an infidel, man? Someone who doesn't believe. Who's gonna die at the end of the day, man. See? So we've been given that assurance, and that increases our boldness and our faith. We just say fuck the 2/3. You can sit here and die in the mirror. All you mockers and scoffers come up trying to confound us, this Christian and the bullshit. We don't care about it, man. It's already been defeated. Hey, live your life from the die in America, man.
And this is Proverbs chapter 12, verse 27. I'm going to read it in the NLT as well. It says, the slothful man roasted not which he took in hunting. This is Proverbs 12 and 27. The slothful man roasted not that which he took in honey, but the substance of a prudent man is precious.
Yeah,
So
I'll bring it out. In the NLT it says, lazy people don't even cook the game they catch. And that's these individuals that the brother's going into. They have a little knowledge. But yet here it is, they trying to convince, no, go catch your game and go kill, go make, hey, you got some game, you got some wheels, hey, go cook that and eat it, bro. Don't force it on me, but this is us on our end. It says, but the diligent make use of everything they find.
If I may, everybody, plain we can say, you teach a man how to fish, he eat for a day. You know, like you give a man to fish, he eat for a day. You teach a man how to fish, he eat forever, man. The Bible try to give him that 1 Peter 4. Because again, brothers, brothers get what you're coming from. You know, because at the end of the day, we on a whole different lifestyle, a whole different walk than anybody else upon the planet Earth, man. You know, so we have to have some type of mindset to stay focused and to be consistent and diligently over what we truly believe in. You know, because again, people think talent comes from you just being born with it. Yeah, that's a sign of it. But talent also comes from consistency. You know, you got all that 1 Peter 4
1 Peter 4 and 1. For as much then as a Mashiach has suffered us in the flesh, arm yourselves likewise with the same mind.
Yes, because how Yahawashi suffered in the flesh, we're going to be in the same mindset. You know, and it even says in Isaiah the 53rd chapter, how Yahawashi was a man that was appointed with grief. You know, Brother Ken hold that on that too. Because, hey, even when Yahawashi was upon the scene, he wasn't teaching the doctrine of all things is going to be good. No. When Yahawashi was upon the scene, one of his main statements was the Son of Man must suffer many things, bro. So how much more us upon the planet Earth now, bro? Niggas don't know what the fuck they talking about, man. Niggas want you to stay in America, telling you that Babylon is somewhere in the Middle East. No, Babylon the Great is here where we at right now, man. And this is what a lake of fire is going to be exalted in the name of Yahawah Sham is going to be exalted in, man. Don't listen to them niggas, man. You got it, bro.
God, it says, but he that have suffered in the flesh have ceased from sin.
Yes, he that have suffered from the flesh have ceased from sin. Now, it's a scripture in Corinthians, everybody can look it up too. It says that we suffer now so we don't get punished with the world, man. Because the little hell that we go through now is not compared to the time of Jacob's trouble, man. You know, I'm gonna be honest, you don't want to jumpstart your way to Jacob's trouble before it's too early, man. You gotta wait on the Lord. You know, ain't nothing wrong with preparing yourself and things like that.
3:15.
But it ain't nothing wrong with you preparing yourself for the evil times, but for you to already say, yeah, fuck it, fuck it, I'm going out here, I'm already in the woods, and now you suffering, that's on you, man. The chip ain't even out yet, and you already jumping the gun on prophecies. And that's what a lot of motherfuckers do. You know, niggas want to jump the gun on prophecies just so they can have the masses in confusion, not knowing that you jumping the gun on prophecies is going to put your masses in confusion, man. You know, you got a lot.
Isaiah.
Like you guys said,
This is Isaiah 53:3. He is despised.
Okay, I got
He is despised and rejected of men.
he is despised and rejected of men. So motherfuckers ain't really, Yahawashi wasn't no ass kisser, man. And every time Yahawashi came around, it was people that was snippering and snapping. You got a lot. He come. He come with that shit again, we've been through that. With motherfuckers that you went to school with and shit, even motherfuckers that your family members. Every time you come around, you gonna bring the Bible out.
Yeah, you can bring the Bible out.
Yeah. Niggas eat pork, you Leviticus.
And you don't even do that no more. I ain't did that in 8 years. But they still talking about year 1 and 2.
Year 1 and 2. But we like the officer mentioned, man, we was the number one party groupers, man. We telling this party of America that this shit is over with, man. You got a lot.
It says, he is despised and rejected of men.
He is despised and rejected of men. So Yahawashi wasn't a clean-cut mother. He wasn't cool with everybody.
He wasn't accepted.
Yeah, he wasn't. See, he didn't want to go along with the give along.
Yeah, he wasn't openly accepted like Christianity is today.
That's it. And he didn't want to be.
Yeah.
And that's when niggas are overexert themselves to be accepted in the word. Yahawashi, he, they say, come as you are. That's how Yahawashi came, man. He didn't come with all those tricks and gimmicks so everybody can love him, man. Fuck that, man. You got it.
And they really had to hate Yahawashi because Yahawashi, he wasn't no ugly individual. So, just think of Jake Wonder. He too fine to be talking like this. You know how they'll try to downplay anything for the sake of like giving one up in the world. And
so you'll be cute if you get a house, man. That bitch tell you that, man. Fuck that, man.
It says he is despised and rejected of men, a man of sorrow.
A man of sorrow.
Acquainted with grief.
And you can about I say that's depression. But the reason why he was going through it, because Yahawashi was on a mission. Yahawashi knew what was going on before he came upon the planet Earth. That's why one of his main statements, I think that's Mark the 8th chapter, it says the Son of Man must suffer many things, bro, to get that crown. You got it?
This morning, it says, a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief, and we hid as it were our faces from him.
Mm-hmm. They didn't want to accept Yahawashi. They didn't want to accept his message. You got it?
Yeah, it says in the NLT, we turned our backs on him and looked the other way.
Yes, and wait, they look at the way of the homeless. And even now today, the way that they look at now is the way of Esau, man. Niggas would rather get a thumb up from Esau than get a thumb up from a Jake, man. And again, that's how you know all these things have turned upside down upon the planet Earth, because wickedness is exalted. Wickedness is cool, and for the lack of better words, the ways of righteousness is the base. Now, if you righteous, now you're the bad guy.
For me, like you're saying, like they chose that the rabbit spirit right there. Scripture said that's nothing new on the sun. Yep. So it's the same thing today. They reject the spirit of Yahawashi in the earth, and then they choose a fucking nigga. Like Alizé or Nigga. Larry who? That's Larry. They little GD. They going old niggas. They released Larry who proud this nigga, but Yahawashi shed his blood for people to be redeemed. And you don't even give a fuck, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So hey, that's why the Lord gotta put you niggas down. 2/3, man.
You quite just mentioned Larry. That's why I said some leaders of my people calls in the air, man. Now this nigga have brought so much destruction upon the planet Earth, but soon as this nigga free, a nigga crying saying my chief free. Your chief, you know what I'm saying? Nigga sweat some tears, bro. Showing you who they really trust in, because all of a sudden, out of all that, it still goes back to the so-called white man. Even this nigga tried to twist it into growth and development, but that's still a fucking game, man. Niggas still getting off, niggas still getting shot, but it just shows you the impact that Esau had upon black people and black culture, man. And the only way that impact will be wiped away is the damn destruction have to come. And the missiles have to come and hit this place in order for all the wicked shit to be passed away, man. And that's why, Papa Rashad, you got someone?
Yeah, it's going back.
See, it's real.
Just saying it before. In verse 28. But as concerning things, whereof thou askest of me, I will tell thee, for the evil is sown, but the destruction thereof is not yet come.
Yeah, it says the evil is sown, but the destruction thereof is not yet come. And the evil of Esau have been sown, man. America have been blooming as that Green Bay tree. If not, one of the major things, basketball is a major sport throughout the whole planet Earth. McDonald's is a major corporation throughout the whole planet Earth. You know what I'm saying? Rap music is a major thing throughout the whole planet Earth. Now, where do those things originate from? The West. You know what I'm saying? They originate from the West. And they said they didn't originate from the West originally, but what place that exalted these different things to the height? Adultery. Across throughout the whole planet Earth, adultery was just, demonized upon. But when an R&B singer come out with a song about committing adultery, for the lack of better words, it's a #1 hit. You got it?
Yep. So it says, verse 29, if therefore that which is sown be not turned upside down, and if the place where the evil is sown pass not away, then cannot it come that is sown with good.
So in order for the kingdom of heaven to come, everybody want to see your grandma and things like that. In order for those things to come, this current society have to pass away. Now, is it going to pass away like these other rulerships in Daniel the 2nd chapter? No. This rulership is going to pass away differently, man. This rulership is actually going to go out with a true bang, and that true bang is going to be thermonuclear missiles. Bible shots one. You give me 2 Peter 3 and verse 10, because that is going to be the thing that's going to issue in the kingdom of heaven, man. People think the kingdom of heaven is going to, what it say, he's going to come with observation and things. No, the Lord said the kingdom of heaven is in you. You know, even though we are these different stones, but we speak these different things into existence, man. You got to say.
2 Peter 3 and 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise.
Yeah, it says the day of the Lord shall come in a thief in the night, because even Esau knows that the day of Yahawashi is actually the step of the end of their kingdom, the end of their rulership, the end of the Romans ruling. And it says it's going to pass away with what? With a great noise, man. You know? And those great noises is not going to come by somebody just having a fucking forest fire. No, those great noises is going to come by intercontinental ballistic missiles. You got it?
It says, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also shall, and the works that are therein shall be burned up.
Yeah, it says the earth, you know, and the works that are therein shall be burnt up. And that works is the works of Esau. Because it's not going to be no Bart Simpson doll in the kingdom of heaven, or even then any other philosophies that Esau pushed forth in this side in the kingdom of heaven. All those things is going to be wiped away. Because those things are unfruitful in the eyes of Yahawashi, and there's no need for that thing in the kingdom of heaven. You got it.
Keep reading. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved.
Papa Bashar, you read that word dissolved for me? It says, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved. You know that these things is not forever. You know that these things are temporal, and the kingdom of the Most High is everlasting. You know? You got it.
It's the word for dissolve in the Greek. It says, the word is lu'u. It says to loose any person tied or fastened.
Yeah, to loose. You got it.
Bandages of the feet, the shoes. The word dissolve. Okay, all right. The word is something different. Dissolved in the Merriam-Webster. Become, it says, with reference to a solid, become or cause to be incorporated into a liquid.
You know, a liquid, and that's the spirit. That's that lake of fire. Just going back. Rashad, you can read that again?
To become, with reference to a solid, become or cause to be incorporated into a liquid.
To be incorporated into a liquid. And the way that it's going to be incorporated to a liquid is through these ICBM nuclear missiles. You got it,
so as to form a solution.
To form a solution. Now, right there, he's talking about a chemical, but no, he's really talking about the solution of peace, man. Because the solution for all these things of being okay and everything going back into order is the destruction of Babylon, like he read in that the 4th chapter. In order for that good to come, the evil had to pass away. The evil had to melt away as waters. Bible Shah, your brother can't give me that Psalm like 55 and 4. You know?
No, the book of Psalm 58 and verse 7. It says, let them melt away as waters.
Yeah, it says, let them melt away as waters. And the reason that was it, the water. How about what if I do? It says, let them melt away as waters. And the reason why they're going to melt away as waters is through those ICBM missiles, man. He even tells us that in the book of Zechariah, how their eyes shall melt away in their eyes, and their tongue shall burn away in their mouths. All these different things is telling you that the lake of fire is going to be where the missiles hit. It's not going to be a river that's going to lead into Megiddo, man. You got it, right?
God. It says, again, let them melt away as waters which run continually. When he bendeth his bow to shoot his arrows.
When he bendeth his bow to shoot his arrows. Now those arrows is another sign to show you that those ICBM nuclear missiles are on the scene, man. And again, they're not on the scene for scare tactics They're not on the scene to just, yeah, I got a gun and everybody. No, they're on the scene to be used now, man. We are in the time when Esau is going to get ready to use that ultimate weapon. There's no coincidence that Trump is preparing that golden dome. And there's no coincidence that Russia and China saying, hold on, before you build that, wait. Why they telling him to wait? Because they know the prophecies, man. They don't want to jump the gun on different things, man. You know that they already got witches and warlocks that, that they do their thing with. But at the same time, it's not going to stop the will of Yahawah and Yahawashi. You know? You can probably go back into that 2 Peter if nobody ain't got that.
All right. The book of 2 Peter 3:11. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved.
Yeah, that all these things shall be dissolved. And we just went into that word dissolve. It actually means to milk, to make a perfect solution, man. You know, you got it.
What manner of persons ought you to be?
So what type of mind should you be in? You know, you got it.
In all holy conversation and godly.
Yes, basically being in the temple. That's the most holy in conversation. That's one of the most holy and conversation things supposed to be. It's in the temple. And now since we don't have the physical temple here today, that temple is actually amongst the brothers, but even in your mind. Now you open up the scriptures and things like that. That's a part of you entering the temple and having those holy conversations. A part of that holy conversation is destruction. People think holy conversation is, everything is going to be okay. No, part of that holy conversation is you better repent this you die. Yeah, you know, that's holy because they're separate from what the world thinks. Got it?
Looking for and hastening.
Yeah, looking for and hastening, man. So we're not waiting for the destruction just so everything will end. No, when the destruction comes, we're looking some past it, bro. And that's what motherfuckers don't understand. We're looking past America. And that's what these Israelites like Deacon Nakai, Brother Asai can't see past, man. With Alazar, niggas can't see past America. They can't flip their page. They still stuck on their red, white, and blue.
If I could, that's why they had a problem with Boston Tahar and GMS was speaking. Hey man, we for Trump. They couldn't see that. Man, we see past Trump. We for the destruction that we know he's intended to bring forth.
Yeah, and look, now we in that time, man. That's it. That spirit, even like this, a call all Yahawashi shot for the apostles, they knew about Nero.
Yeah,
so when Trump came back upon the scene, it's like, well, what are Yahawashi? Because that's another step showing that we're closer into the end. Because the persecution of the Jews have to come, or the persecution of the Israelites have to come before we get to the end, man. Right. That's why that is 1 Corinthians 14 and 40, everything must be done decently and in order. A part of those things being done decently and in order is even prophecy being done decently and in order. They hated Yahawashi, they persecuted Yahawashi, so how much more us here today, man? You got it.
Just going back to the point about us being happy about Trump being in office. It pretty much, gives credence to Isaiah the 19th chapter. That cruel Lord, that's a part of prophecy. And there has to be a cruel Lord set up display to bring forth all this hell, man. You know, that's all geared towards the kingdom of heaven. And that's what Jake doesn't understand because what they lack that vision. You know what I'm saying? So we need times like Trump. Yeah, go ahead. Hey, do your thing, man. You know, because ultimately you're doing what the will of the Most High. All right, to bring forth what the kingdom of heaven. You know? Romans 8:28, all things. Yeah. You know, Bible said I didn't get that real good. Pretty much everything that happened is happening for the sake of those who love the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Whether good or bad. It's all pertaining to the salvation of your elect. You see? We need society to collapse. We need a famine. We need wars in the streets. We need the power to go out. Why? Because it's all part of prophecy. You know, that's going to lead into the kingdom of heaven. Our Lord said, hey, when you see these things, you lift your head up. And see your redemption draw up nigh. You know? Well, we got it. Romans 8:28. Because everything, again, is working in tandem for the salvation of the elect. So when you learn to accept that scripture and accept prophecy, hey, you cool with everything. Because what? You know that's the will of the Most High. It's good pleasure to give you the kingdom, man. So you shouldn't be tripping about Trump being a fucking tyrant. You should be clapping. It's Lord working in the earth, man.
This is the book of Romans 8. In verse 28, it says, and we know that all things work together for good.
Yeah, all things work together for the good. You got it?
To them that love the Most High, to them who are called according to his purpose.
Right, because every Israelite does not love Yahawah by Shema in his word, man. So this is very specific right here. Everything is working for the good of the elect, only, man.
Yeah.
You see? But those who are called of the Most High according to his purpose. All right? Those first fruits. All right? Those who first trusted in Yahawashi, those who are predestinated, you see? Everything is working in tandem for you, man. So hey, rejoice when you see evil. Rejoice when you see Trump doing his thing. Clap, man. That's the Lord working in the earth. Bring forth America's great demise, destruction. That's going to lead to what? Immortality, man. What you got?
It says, for whom it's like, read this again, it's like, it says, and we know that all things work together for good to them that love the Most High, to them who are called according to his purpose, for whom he did foreknow, he did predestinate to conform to the image of his sons.
Right. Foreknow, he did predestinate, which shows you that everything was already set in stone from the beginning, man. You know, but you just got to accept it. You're just a character in the Lord's movement. But he chose specific spirits, you know, that he wanted to justify through the blood of Yahawashi, all right, to enter the kingdom of heaven, man. And it first started with this knowledge. You see? This is a manifest token that, hey, more than likely, we were with Yahawashi in the past. You know? We were a part of those who were persecuted, you know, by these unbelievers, these scoffers who put us in death in the past. You see? Because we are not in this world. We are not of America. We are not of Babylon the Great. We don't side with this place continuing another fucking day. You know, but we agree across it. Everything got to play out. You know, the captive exile, he hastens that he may be loose. And that he should not die in the pit. You know, that pit is America, and that his bread should not fail. So the Lord has given us food to eat. All right? He has rained down spiritual manna in the form of this word, and we're eating it, we're digesting it, and we're seeing, you know, the benefits of it. You know what I'm saying? And we're pretty much departing from this world, and guess what? We're looking forward to the kingdom of heaven, man. What you got?
Come. It says that this is a little more. But just going back into that word conform, we roll back at Romans 12 and 2. It's the same word. So instead of you conforming yourself into the ways of the world, we're actually conforming our ways into the mindset of Yahawashi. You know? It says, for whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate to conform to the image of his son, that he might be the firstborn amongst many brothers.
Right. And that word conform again, like the brother brought up, Romans 12 chapter, be not conforming to this world. All right, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Now, we know that Yahawashi has nothing to do with this world. As you say, the prince of this world come, you know, pretty much this world has nothing to do with him. That's talking about this current society, this current rulership, man. See, which stemmed from the ancient Roman Empire. It's back to date. So that's the reason why we're testifying against it, calling out Esau, atrocities, speaking out against the wickedness. And in doing that, hey, we're doing the same thing that Yahawashi did. Which shows that, hey, we have the mind of Yahawashi. See, same judgment. Yeah.
If I may, brother, you get Philippians 2 and verse 1 to point at verse 2. Because again, just being in that same like mindset of righteousness, man. You know, righteousness is going to be the key to living forever, man. Wickedness is the key to dying. And through this truth, Yahawah Shema have taught us these different things, man. You know? And if the brother got that, y'all can play it.
I'm saying Philippians 2 and 1.
Yeah, 2 and 1.
Right,
Point at verse 2 though.
Yeah, this is Philippians 2 and 1. If there be therefore any consolation in Hamashiach, if any comfort of love, if any fellowship of the Spirit, if any vows and mercies, fulfill ye my joy.
Yeah, fulfill the Lord's joy. A part of you fulfill the Lord's joy is for prophesying against America. Because the Lord want to rule, man. But in order for the Lord to rule, this current kingdom has to be wiped back out. You got it, huh?
God, it says, fulfill ye my joy.
Fulfill the Lord's joy. You got it.
That ye be like-minded.
That ye be like-minded. And that's it. That's not like-minded to a nigga that vote for Trump. Like-minded to a Republican. No, like-minded with Yahawashi. In which the elect in Yahawashi, they both is like-minded, man. Being in the same mindset, desiring the same things, bro. You got it.
It says, fulfill ye my joy that ye be like-minded, having the same love, being of one accord, Salaki. Being of one accord.
Being of one accord, and they put doctrines upon the scene. You know, for lack of better words, I can't be on one accord with a brother when he believes that hell is going to be a river. You know, I can't be on one accord when you believe that Gentiles is going to be saved, man.
Right.
You know, so a part of that one accord is really talking about what? The doctrine. You know, the things that you believe in, you put the stock in. Come on.
It says being of one accord, of one mind.
Of one mind. And that one mind is really just the mind of Yahawashi in the will of the Lord. Because even when you go into Romans 12th chapter in the 2nd verse, it says that you may know the perfect will of the Most High. A part of that perfect will of the Most High is to destroy this bitch, man. But the Lord is saying, I see them nuclear missiles upon this place, and Lord willing, He beam us up, and we issue in the kingdom of heaven, man. Once we come back down throughout a period of time. But at the same time, these are the things that we desiring, man. And these are the same things that Yahawashi desired when he was upon the planet Earth 2,000 years ago. Because when Yahawashi, when he knew that the Son of Man must suffer many things, and he already knew, even though he said, I'm going to go through hell, this, that, and the third, another thing that he was preaching to the disciples is what? He going to get the damn kingdom, man. That's why Hebrews the 12th chapter is so beautiful. It says Yahawashi who went through much suffering, the torture of men, this, that, and the third. But at the end of all that bullshit, he was set down at the right hand of the Most High. And that's the same thing with us. After all the bullshit that we're going to go through on this left-hand side, on that right-hand side, man, we're going to have complete rulership. You know? But you got it, huh?
Come, 2nd 84.
Sorry, 26.
Come. 2nd 84 and 26. Then answered he me and said, the more thou searchest, the more thou shalt marvel. For the word hasteneth fast to pass away.
Yeah, it says this word, the word has to pass away. Just talking about this current society that we living in. Come on.
And cannot comprehend the things that are promised to the righteous in the time to come. For this world is full of unrighteousness and infirmity.
And that's why even you can't even think about, you know, you can think about to a certain extent about the things that's going to happen to the kingdom of heaven. But even then, it's going to farther exceed your expectations. Because you grew up in Babylon. Only thing you know is the things that Babylon gave you, man. You know, the deepest a nigga get, I got 1,000 women. That's the deepest nigga getting. I got 1,000 women. Or even, I got a plane. The Lord in the kingdom of heaven, He gonna go past that, bro. And you can't even think that. You can't even fathom it, bro. So these are the things that the Lord have for us, man. But in order for us to achieve these rewards, we must endure unto the end. You got it up.
God, verse 28. But as concerning things where thou askest me, I will tell thee, for the evil is sown, but the destruction thereof is not yet come.
Yes, the evil is sown, but the destruction thereof is not yet come. Come on.
If therefore that which is sown be not turned upside down, and in the place where the evil is sown pass not away, then cannot it come that is sown with good.
So in order for the kingdom of heaven to come, this current society must be destroyed. You know, the missiles must hit this place, what it is, Revelation the 7th chapter, that destroying wind, that's going to hurt fruit, you know, the trees and things like that. That must hit. The same thing in Revelation the 9th chapter, the same thing that's in Jeremiah 50, the same thing in Jeremiah 51. These things must come to pass in order for the kingdom of heaven to come to pass, bro. You know? If a brother can, brother ain't got nothing, brother got something. You got to come
add to your point, because that's with the Lord's destruction. That's how you forth a good garden. Like when you've had a garden full of weeds, and had a garden full of unpleasant plants or invasive plants, what you do, you set fire to it. And the things that get set fire on the surface, hey, that's to wither away. And the things that are deep rooted, the Lord is going to uproot. You see? That's how the Lord is doing. He's uprooting this place spiritually, and next He's just going to come through with the clean of fire, man. Hey, now we can start anew. You know? It's beautiful, man.
Start over.
Second Esdras 8:1 says, Common English Bible. Says, He answered me, the Most High made this world for the sake of many, but the future world for the sake of few.
If I may, because it's only a few righteous. Even the Lord said, after 1,000 men, I have found one righteous, man. You know, and after 1,000 women, I found none. So that few is a real small number. Papa Kashai, you can read that again, bro?
Yeah, it say, he answered me, the Most High made this world for the sake of many, but the future world for the sake of few.
And that future world is the kingdom of heaven, man. It says for the sake of few, because it's only a few people that truly desire, like, right shit to happen. Not the slacking for the rude language, but there's only a few people upon the planet Earth that desire righteousness, man. While everybody else want to go left, bitches are snubby, but at the same time, these bitches getting popped from behind, bro. You know, niggas, they try to be hard, but behind, he's getting popped too, man. So, yeah, he's getting peggy, man. But at the end of the day, all these things must basically die, man. Not to get too graphic. Yeah, too graphic. All these things must pass away in order for us to truly be in peace, man. Because the kingdom of heaven cannot inherit, it cannot inherit corruption, because it's an incorruptible thing. So all the corruptible devices, the corruptible mindset, the corruptible toys, the corruptible philosophies have to be wiped out in order for righteousness to truly set in and take root upon the planet Earth, man. Even when you tilling the ground, you just can't drop the paint on the ground and say it's all good. And you walk. No, you gotta fucking till the ground, man. Dig in that motherfucker and pull it, bro. And once that seed drop and it take root, it's gonna grow in due time, man. And that's the process of the kingdom of heaven right now. It's growing right now, man. That's why you can see the prophets, the elders, the apostles on every street corner. Not only just in Alabama, but throughout the whole motherfucking world, man. You got it.
If I may,
go ahead.
Yeah, just going what you said, like everything is corrupt. So the Lord is planting like a righteous seed within the minds of the elect. But in order for that to take place, your ground got to be ready to receive that seed. You know, the Lord speaks about the former rain and latter rain. You know, in which the latter rain was pretty much set up in the time of Israel, because in the summertime was a drought. You know, and the Lord would provide the latter rain, you know, to like former rains, like in the fall or the autumn, to prepare the ground for the seed to be planted. But in the former rain, you know, you would have the seed be ready to be matured and harvested in that time. So we're in that season. The Lord provided us with former rain, the former His word coming down. So we're now, you know, we're able to grow, we're ready to be cultivated, you know, in our mind. You know? But again, your ground, your mind got to be right, you know, to receive the seed of truth. See, so you can be matured in the spirit and also be harvested in time when Yahawashi, you know.
This is Sirach. Where am I? Sirach 35 and 10, and New Revised Version. It say, be generous when you worship the Lord, and do not skimp the first fruits of your hands. With every gift show a cheerful face, and dedicate your tithe with gladness. Give to the Most High, as He has given to you.
Hey, with the Lord giving to you life, that's every breath you take. Yeah. So every breath you take, you should be giving back, man. That's why the Lord said, love others as I have loved you. You gotta speak.
It said, give to the Most High as He has given to you, and as generously as you can afford.
As generously as you can afford. That's why it says it depends on your faith. Woo, you know? That's what it's talking about. Faith is a currency, man. People don't know that. Mercy a currency.
Hey, if I may, you could give less than you can afford too, because they got that parable of the talents, you know, in which somebody held on to their talents, and they wasn't gifted any reward. Everything they had was taken from them. So you can sit on your talents, man. So that's a fearful thing, you know. You serving the Lord, but you're sitting on your talents, and then He gonna require that talent that you got left. The talent is it's money. You're supposed to flip that. You know, the Lord, His prophets is like hustlers for Him. It's like messengers. A good messenger is gonna go out and promote that message. Whereas this filthy, wicked messenger is gonna sit on that message and never get. You know, that message needs to go out. You understand how this thing works? You know, a king put out a message. That needs to go out, because that could stop a war, that could prevent a war, that could save death, you know, slaughter many. So, you know, you gotta deal with it. You know, whereas, you know, the king is expecting his message to do just that. You got one job. So it says, give to the Most High as he has given to you, and as generously as you can afford. For the Lord is the one who repays, and he will repay you sevenfold. You gotta expect, you know, there's a reward for all of these, everything that we doing, man. Hey, you know, the Lord, you know, requires that which is past, but also he looks out for his elect. Because what we doing? We doing the works that he set up for. This is another one real quick. 2nd Ezra. This is 8 and 33. It says, for the righteous who have many works laid up with thee shall receive their reward in consequence of their own deeds. And so the Lord is righteous, man, that he requires, you know, he gonna give you. He's gonna give it to you. You know, you over here might be looking for a reward now, or you looking for a reward. No, man, hey, the Lord, Yahawashi is gonna give you that reward. And it's gonna come in the sense of him returning back to this earth, man. You don't want no reward now. You know, your reward now can be stolen from you. You know, your reward can get old. You know, you don't want no reward in this society, man. People going to, you know, laugh at your reward. It is, you want a reward in the kingdom of heaven, man. That's where all our riches is being stored up right now. Remember, you got a bank account, a spiritual bank account. The hell with this, what's your bank account look like right now? That's what Eve and the rest of them think about. That's what the heathen think about. They all this made at, what's your bank account? No, you got a spiritual bank account that none of these people recognize. Except for Yahawashi outside, and he's going to restore it. He's going to be generous to you as he was generous to him. So again, a lot of what we're working for, that penny, man, is going to be given to you after this place collapses, after all hell breaks loose, after you done made it and endured through the said trials and perils that's come upon this place. All right, you got to really give up on trying to be somebody in this world, whereas more of your attention is paid. So who you going to be in the future, man? Yahawashi, when everything is, the scripture called a future immortal. You're going to have immortality, man. You don't even have immortality now. You can't even hold on to the riches that you get. You got to leave them to somebody. And King Solomon said, basically, it's folly because you don't know who you're going to leave it to. Or not. Your son might splurge. The prodigal son took the money and then splurged it. Came back poor, penniless. All right? Whereas the Yahawashi is reserving prosperity for us, man, where it can't be taken and stolen. It's the ultimate bank account that you're saving up right now. That's the mindset that you gotta lock in at. You got it, bro.
I got some real quick. Bag you up. This is the book of Colossians 3 and verse 1. If ye be risen with the Mashiach, seek those things which are above, which the Mashiach sitteth on the right hand of the Most High.
Bring it out again.
It says, set your affection on things above and not things on earth.
One more time.
God, this is the book of Colossians 3 and 1. If ye be risen with the Mashiach, seek those things which are above and not.
To hell with, that means to hell, in cold words, to hell with what you got going on for yourself. Really, to hell with it, man. You know, we not the brothers that want to sit around and talk about, yo, fucking great achievements here in Babylon. So what? All right, where going to end up with? Where's you going to end up with when all hell breaks loose? What you going to end up with when they bring in this no war order? What you going to end up with when the dollar collapse? What you going to end up with when famine come out and break out? What you going to end up with, man? You know, so you telling me about some fantasy island that's not to exist in the near future? We hoarding up things and where moth and rust doth not corrupt, man. With these not break forth and steal. The Lord said he give you 100-fold. Forsake all of these things, he gonna give you 100-fold. It ain't to be compared. What does that say? The things of this world is not to be compared. The pleasure of this world, not to be compared with the things and the pleasure that we're gonna have in the kingdom. Roughly paraphrasing. Go ahead, Doc.
God, it says, seek those things which are above, where Mashiach sitteth on the right hand of the Most High.
So you gotta know better. Know the difference, man, between real riches and this bullshit. Man, you can hit the lotto and it's still bullshit.
Right.
All right? bring it all. Bank account got 2, 3 commas on it, and it's still bullshit, man. You know, you're gonna have to still cry upon your Lord in that day, because they're gonna wipe it all clean, man. They got agendas to set you straight, whether you think you got it or not. It's all gonna collapse, man, and fall upon your head. Esau himself, the man that prints the money that you gloat about, is gonna be in dire straits. So what makes you think you're gonna be any different? Scripture say riches don't profit not in the day of the Lord's wrath and destruction. He coming down with great wrath, man. Fire. Money can't pay for the fire to stop consuming your ass. It's gonna be rich and wealthy in that fire, man, that's about to take place. So you can say to hell with this society. You really can say truly with the Lord's word stamped upon it, to hell with this place is money, whatever it holds in high esteem. The scripture already tell you that folly is set in high esteem, man. All right, you gotta be rich in the midst of fools. You so rich that the only people you around at the country club is a bunch of damn fools, man, that think they money make them worth something. All right, this is real truth. This is real riches. That's why it's written in Revelation 2:9, going down. I know that poverty in our works, but thou art rich, man. What you rich with? Wisdom that's able to save your souls. And it said, perils. It's projected that all type of storms, tempests, evils is about to take place on this earth, man. So you're going to inherit that right along with your riches. Who's going to deliver you then? Right? The prophets of old said, whoa, who shall deliver me in them days? Who? Because it's impossible. The visions that you show me, Lord, who could save me from the wrath that you're going to project to come? You don't want to be caught up in here thinking the wrong thing, the wrong mindset, right? Deluded with your thoughts. Let your own vain opinions usurp your way of thinking, man. All right? Them going to be real sounds of missile striking, man, in the future. Not no planes, not no, you know? You ain't going to be able to hear your family's laughter no more. It's going to be cries coming out of their mouths, man. And ain't no solutions with them cries. That's what perplexity means. The Lord say He's going to send perplexity amongst nations. You know what that means? It means that there ain't no way out. It's not going to be any resources available readily like you have now. No forms of salvation. They just got to be judged and go through the same sentence that the Lord said. There's no answers in that day. No left turn, right turn. You're just going to have to go through this famines and the plagues alone. So, hey, of course the Yahawashi got his elect set up where he going to have us in the right mindset to take heed to what's in the word and not to this destructive ass society, man. It's on its way out. Imagine you in ancient Babylon talking about, we got 30 more years, 1,000 years of ancient Babylon, where it was laid out, waste. Ain't no even remnants of it, man. And to show you, to put the stamp on it, the Lord say He hate the man that's in power right now. He hate him. He gonna have, I'm gonna cause his inheritance to be laid desolate. The Lord hates Esau, man. He in power. So of course He gonna bring it down. He gonna bring the house down.
Colossians 3:2, it says, set your affection on things above and not things on the earth. Now, I get this word affection. That word affection, Strong's G 5426. It says, for ego, it says to have understanding, be wise. Now, going down a little bit, it says to be of the same mind, agree. It says to cherish the same views, be harmonious, man. So that harmonious arrangement is really with us in Yahawashi, setting your affection upon the righteousness.
That's that hateful spirit. They hate for the kingdom.
Yeah.
What do you say?
It says to be harmonious. Because harmony means what? Everybody together.
on the same page.
Even harmony, people think harmony is everybody playing the same note. It's not. Some like the baritones, they probably playing the E. That's how it is. The trumpets, you probably playing the C, but with certain, it's a high C and it's a low C. Just to balance out the tone, you feel me? That's why it's first child, second child, you see what I'm saying? So even with Yahawashi, it's the same thing with that harmonious arrangement, man. We all desiring destruction. You know what I'm saying?
That's why he set up Esau.
Yeah.
He set up Esau because Esau was the perfect person to bring about what? Judgment. He was the perfect person to align you with evil, bring about evil. All right, there's no coincidence that your water is poison. There's all type of chemistry. You know, man, there's all type of shit in your body right now. That, you know what I'm saying? You would be in prayer mode if you knew that was in your body. Somebody's phone. You know, it's all type of chemicals in the water. You know, the minds of the people who set up, messed up. The next generation gonna come out just as wicked as possible because Esau already got the system implemented to take peace from the earth. It's a part of the system, man. It's in legislation to take peace from the earth. It's legalized. What the scriptures say about you know, you write things grievous. You write what's the word? Decrees. His decrees. Grievousness, which he write is grievous. Unrighteous decrees, man. So he already set it up. So where everything's supposed to be upside down, backward, you supposed to feel like, what the hell is going on with this place, man? You got it?
Isaiah 10:1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees.
Woe means destruction, man. You gotta get acclimated to the destruction of that fucking white powdery bastard, man. Walking around this earth thinking he better than everybody, man. The hell with that shit, man. PC coach is some bullshit. Yahawashi said it straight. Everything was straight, man. You do this and you get this. He's not mocked, all right? Whatsoever a man sows, that's how he reap. This man reaped nothing but slavery, all right? Destruction, wrath, right? Plagues, all right? Corruption, evil. That's what he sowed on this earth, man. You're gonna get just due. Whoa. Whoa. Destruction is about to head to this place. That's why the scripture always talk about beware and take heed. Go ahead.
Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees.
You ain't gotta feel sorry about Esau. The Most High set him up to be that way. But you got an ark with the Heavenly Father who set him up, created him. He said, Proverbs 16:4. It said the wicked is even created for the day of evil. Who the hell are you to decide? Well, I don't like that, man. He been all right to me. All right, well, fuck you. Hey, how about Sham do exactly what he's supposed to do? He aligned men with destiny and results that he has set up from the foundations of the world. You're supposed to believe on him, man. You see how simple it is when you believe on him? You don't start falling for Esau's bullshit. Esau come up to you all soft spoken and fuck. All that shit is a trap, man. For the ones that's supposed to be trapped. That's a stumbling block. White man ain't never did nothing to me. Stumbling block. Stockholm syndrome, stumbling block. You believing in this place is gonna last, stumbling block. All right, that's called normalcy bias. You think everything supposed to go the same way it's been just because it's been. Nothing new is gonna change. Well, the Lord done destroyed societies long before. Come to find out, America about to hit its 250th year, which is where most societies fall at. So come on, if we ain't not in that time, man, what exactly is the word for? What the Bible for if it ain't for about prophesying the downfall of this society, man? That's wicked as all hell. Go again.
To your point, it's like from the top. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and that right grievousness which they have prescribed.
Grievousness, man. A man and a man can get married, and then the claps right behind it, just to stop you from thinking that it might be wrong. Well, wait a minute. You're too busy clapping. You don't already fucking, shut down the thought process already because you heard the claps right behind the bullshit.
If I could add to the elder's point, I got a wicked family member that did that's in that same mindset. She followed the Bible, and the moment I was like, yo, the Lord, her exact argument was, well, if the Bible said man and woman, wouldn't that be the balance of God for man and man to get together, and woman and woman? Is like, what sense is that, man?
That sounds like a woman, huh?
But that's the society, like the brother said, quick clap, so it just drowned out any rational thinking thereafter after a week of saying. It sounds like I kept quiet. It sounds nice. It sounds good.
It's the formula. They don't figure it out, bro. Esau is a cunning hunter. He's so devious with it that he learned how he studies how to make lies sound real. He studies that, man.
Good.
How to make lies real. Remember, this is the man that took peace on the earth.
Yep.
They got several measures on how to make you hate life itself, man.
Yeah.
People commit suicide in this society, man. This is not something that you're supposed to be batting the eye at. Well, another day at life. No, another day in hell as you stretch it. Right? You got to be at the right mindset. Woe unto them. Go ahead, Al.
God, bring out the strong plate for that word grievousness.
Go ahead.
It goes into
Speak up, too.
so like it goes into grievousness, miserable, perverseness, wickedness.
Yeah, perverseness, man. So all manners of evil, this man Esau is responsible for exploiting. Remember, that's how was a chaos was a order out of
chaos.
Order out of chaos, which means order out of chaos. He wants you to be unwavering, unsound. You walking down the street and when you drive through the city and you see fiends and people out of their mind, Esau designed it to be like that. That's not because they can't grab on the life the right way. We over here bashing the wrong person. The spirit brought him through. He collapsing as it is. He on the last few steps. You got people being unalive, man. You got complete athletes. They 24 years old. They out on the field and they unalive. Because they trusted in Esau, man. This is a society that's supposed to set you up for failure. From the moment you be born. They already designed the prisons to be just like the damn elementary schools, man. Cafeteria looked the same. It was a little young, it was a 6-year-old that was telling Mom, look, Mom, the cafeterias in the prison look just like ours. They setting us up. So even a young could see it, man. What's wrong with you conformed idiots? That's what idiot just means you don't know. So you're dealing with people that don't know. Stop arguing with an idiot. They say you don't argue with a fool because from a distance they don't know who's who. You're spending your time doing dumb shit. All right? And instead, really understand that you got something through the spirit of Yahawashi. You got something special if you're clicking on these shows, man. And you ain't avoiding the hard sayings. You ain't running from the truth. The Lord set him up to decree unrighteous decrees, man. That shall defile you. Was that Micah 2:10? You polluted. Was that Habakkuk 4 and 6 or 6 and 4? Destroyed for lack of knowledge as well. Yeah, 4 and 6. Micah shot. Who's holding something?
Got some.
That was it on that.
This book of Isaiah 30 in verse 10. He says, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things.
You got men that don't want the truth to come out. Grown ass man. Went through puberty. There ain't no reason in hell they supposed to be so comfortable in this wicked ass society. People will allow themselves to be comfortable in wickedness and evil. That's the problem. Just Lot was vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. Just hearing them talk about the shit that they doing, not even seeing it, right? And of course you see it because the scriptures say they showed themselves as Sodom. Was it as Sodom? Isaiah the 3rd chapter. They showed themselves as Sodom. They hide it not. They gonna be consumed. Somebody grab that as well. Who read it? Go ahead.
Come. It says, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things.
You need prophesying the right things, even in the midst of as wicked as society is. There's so much pride in the society that they don't want it to go down, no matter how wicked it is. That's crazy. Let's redefine what crazy actually means. You want a wicked society to continue? You're crazy. You want to be here? You finding ways to enjoy a wicked society? You're crazy.
Delusional.
All right. You learning ways to
Inside joke.
You're learning what she's still looking for that G. You're still looking for ways to enjoy or navigate through it. You're fucking delusional, man. You need to be put out your mind. If you see a dog just go around and biting anything, the first thought should be Somebody need to kill that.
Put him out of his misery.
Kill it. You're not still sympathetic. It's a dog. Dog biting everything it sees. Kill it, man. Put it out of its misery. Some things need to be executed in order for peace and sanctity to continue, man. It's just a society. You need people to behave in a normal way. You don't need a grown man to come up to your child, want to play Roblox together?
Yeah.
Fuck, man. We gotta get out of here, man. All right, we gotta get out of here, man. I'm liable to Spartan kick anybody I see around this place, man. If the Spirit of the Lord wasn't on me to just, refrain, and the scripture said, vengeance is mine, save the Lord. We'd be out here just Spartan kicking into the middle of traffic. Right? We'd be dragging people with ropes behind our pickup trucks, man. If we had say so. That's how you know the Spirit of the Lord on us, man. We ain't made no move yet. No matter how carnal they say we are. Because it's deserving, man. We're trying to bring order and peace back to a place where Esau just, I got a new law that they gonna love this one. It's gonna make a man be able to marry. You know what I'm saying? Man be able to marry a little boy. Yeah.
I got men and women's sports.
Yep. Men and women's sports. Yep.
That's good right there, man.
They gonna love this red fire. These is freaks, man. All right, that don't need to be in order. That don't need to be in power. But the Lord designed it so that we know for sure in the kingdom of heaven what never to do and what not to do and what is the ideal evil society, man. We know it now. We know it like we ain't never knew it before. Go ahead, Ar.
Yeah, this is Rawchaa chapter 39, verse 26. Because as the brother's going into it, Esau has really turned everything upside down to a point that the Lord is really going to show you how things were supposed to go and supposed to be. So Rawchaa 39 and 26, the principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron, and salt, flour of wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of the grape. So that's wine. Oil and clothing. All these things are good to the godly. So to the sinners they are turned into evil. Yeah, so that's how Esau's came to you people with all of these concessions. That's why that beautiful bill. It's a problem to lower class America. Why? Because he's taking money out of your pockets, giving it to the elites. But what did he do? He controls your water, he controls your air, he controls your clothing, he controls your in and outs, your transit. He controls all of these things, but these are the things the Lord gave to us to pleasure ourselves with, to fortify ourselves to what? To give glory unto him. But to the godly, what? Hey brother, you're over the iron. You know what? Hey, we got a lot of trees this year that came up with cut down these men and replant this such. You know, that's the well ordering of a government, of a society. Esau, he takes it unto himself. So the Lord said all of these things were made good unto the godly, but it says, so to the sinners they are turned to evil, because Esau used these things to lord a power over you, for you to look at him as if though he is God, when he can't make a tree grow up if the Lord tell the ground not to yield forth this strength. Hey, that tree don't grow. Now Esau out here begging in the streets just like everybody else. What you got it up?
Yeah, because if I may, like, that's a great example of, like, I think you posted that video of this dude smoking that sage.
Yeah.
Perfect example, man. Because, sage is meant to purify the air. But you got a nigga who is smoking a 12-inch sage, man. Like it's a joint. It shows you that they have fully adopted the mind of Esau to rebel against everything that was intended for good, So there has to be a correction. Like the brother brought out, everything is upside down. So there has to be a correction. The brother earlier, except the place when the evil song passing away, then cannot declare that it's song was good. See? So now you should understand what we're talking about, the destruction of America. Russia talking about World War III with America makes more sense now. You should be cheering at that. You should be rooting, like, yeah, bring it on. Because we understand that something behind or after this construction right here, all right, it's gonna be far more greater than what you can ever expect, man. Life. Yeah, you want to live. You complain. You want life. You complain about your bills, your woman being out of order, sickness. All these things. You wake up in the morning at 4 o'clock in the morning to go to work. you know, really you want peace. Where does that peace reside at, man? Okay, well, that's Yahawashi. You're really crying out for Yahawashi. The script says manifestation. Yep, Romans 8 chapter. We get that real quick. They waited for the manifestation of the sons of God. You waiting on us to get in power. Although you're scoffing and mocking. Yeah, we're talking about everlasting peace. But that peace ain't come unless America gets destroyed. But you niggas are offended at that, man.
All right, this is Romans 8 and 19.
Yeah.
Okay, Romans 8 and 19. For the earnest expectation of the creature waited for the manifestation of the sons of Yahawah, Sham, Yahawashi.
Right, so the creature in its totality is waiting for the manifestation, the revealing of the sons of God. All right, Scripture speaks about us being the welfare of the world. If I can get that real quick, I think it was Psalm 6:24. But pretty much when you complain, man, when you got a gripe about something that you don't deem to be as right, you're ill. You know, you got all these fucking questions in your mind. All right, with all the answer stars right here. And we're able to the Holy Spirit to give you a peace of mind if you're able to, you know, receive these words, okay? And it's going to trickle over to the kingdom of heaven.
Wisdom of Solomon 6:24, but the multitude of the wise is the welfare of the world.
Right, the multitude of the wise is as the welfare of the world, man. It's going to be it's going to benefit the world, man, when the rights are on authority. You see that? Because right now, yep, it says in the book of Sirach, the 10th chapter, you know, that judge who destroys his people, that's Esau Edom. So there has to be a change in the power, a change in the government. Corruption has to be overcome, man, like the scriptures say. You see? So when we get up in authority, we're going to initiate the laws, statutes, and commandments, you know, under the reign of our Lord Yahawashi and King David. And you're going to start to see peace actually flourish in the earth. They're going to see the benefit of keeping the law. They're going to see the benefit of order. Right now, hey, everyone is delighting in chaos, man. They're delighting in doing what the fuck they want to do, you know? Who was that nigga, Allison Crowley? Who was out with? You know, everybody got their mindset. I'm free. I can do what the fuck I want. That's stuff from Esau Edom to Babylon the Great.
All right, this is back over in Romans 8. I'm going to jump down to verse 22 to get the, verse 21. It says, because the creature itself also shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption into the glorious liberty of the children of Yahawah.
That's it, the children. Yeah. Because the children, those who are going to be delivered, some are the elect. That's the creature right there. You know, those who are crying and sighing out for the abomination, we're seeking for everlasting peace, man. This is what we have been exposed to. The fact that, hey, you're not going to find peace in America. No matter where you go and look for it, no matter what religion you subscribe to, you march in the streets, you know? You're not going to find it here, man.
I got that definition for liberty. It's twofold. It says a license. So we know that Esau gave Jacob during the time of the Romans a license to do wickedness through his gymnasiums and through his sports. And this is the point. It says true liberty is living as we should, not as we please. Now I go back and read it once more for you. It says, because the creature itself also shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption into the glorious liberty. So this is the glorious liberty where Jake is ruling, as the brother was going into. When Jake is ruling over, now you living as you're supposed to, and you're living under the license of Yahawah, Sham, Yahawashi. Not under the license of Esau to do wickedness. Certain things you ain't gonna have the free range of doing them. But the ultimate liberty is living as the way of Yahawah, Sham, Yahawashi. It says,
yeah, that's us having that same mind. Because the Heavenly Father, He knows what's best, man. And that order is established through His Son Yahawashi, and that trickles down to His men who have been given this light, man, to understand how the world needs to be ran. So, you know, when it speaks about us living as we should, we understand that, hey, in order for you to receive peace and to, you know, to not complain, it speaks about the brother Grant, you were going to bring earlier about the tears being wiped away. Revelation 21:4. That's talking about us being in our perfection, the law being established, and sin no more having dominion over us, man. That's going to, by default, establish peace on earth. First with us. Yeah.
It says, shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption into the glorious liberty of the children of the Most High.
Right, so what's the bondage of corruption? Let's talk about these bodies, man, which are subjected under sin. You see? We have come to the conclusion that it's a reason. The reason why we constantly in these predicaments, subject to these payments, again, going back into the woman not being in order, you're constantly being oppressed by Esau, eating so-called white men because of our own offenses. That stems from sin, man. So sin has to be covered. Yahawashi has to defeat devil. In order for those things to be wiped away. Everyone out here complaining about, what they got going on, what they going through. Nigga, you should understand by now, problems being out there, hey, you fucked up. We fucked up, man. So there has to be a correction. Yahawashi has to come back and fix that. That's the only solution. And the way he's going to do this by way of fire. It's America, man.
If I could add to it, because it says the animals saying that they shall be delivered from their corruption. Even the animals recognize that they done went off in the sense that a lion should lay down and eat hay with a lamb in that day. With what was it? Was it a cow? With a calf? With a calf, man. So even these animals know it's like, man, I'm not supposed to be out here eating meat. This is the only way he can survive. So he's waiting for us to get right, so Yahawah Sham Yahawashi can actually reign righteousness throughout the earth, so he can get the living, man. Because the lion ain't living right now, man.
Add to it, because again, once the rulership of Esau came on the scene, everything have got knocked out of course. Now all of a sudden, man is equal to man, and the women is equal to woman, and it even trickled down into the animal kingdom. Yes. You go into the zoo, a lot of that be damn male on male and female on female.
Yeah, they sexually repressed, man.
Yeah. And then a lot of times they be what? Dope.
Yep.
The same thing that Esau do to these animals, he used that same type of logical thinking on what? The people, man. Got something for you real quick. This is the book of Sirach 10, I'm gonna start at verse 3. An unwise king destroyed his people, but through the prudence of him which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. But I may add too, because again, when Esau is in control, what it says he's gonna do is steal, kill, and destroy. And we can see the reaction of two. Now all of a sudden, the generation, your kids, you worried about your kids now. You don't know if they gonna grow up in that ABC, FAG lifestyle, man. Now you worried about what your kids eat now, man. Because again, it's a cause and effect with everything, even the thing that you intake. You take your child to McDonald's, you scared it might be too much insulin. I don't take it to McDonald's, but you scared it might be too much. It's like kind of like you scared it might be too much damn insulin in the fucking food, bro. Never in damn life have they been this worse upon us, bro. When the food that we eat actually defiles us, man.
Like that's crazy because Jake, they might find out that school fucked up. Who are they pretty much blaming it on? They're blaming it on the corporation, manager, whatever. But like you said, that's a source. There's a root to everything. Everything pretty much comes from the top, man. As this chapter goes into,
You blame the company all day.
That's a certain order that comes down from the head. You know what I'm saying? It comes down from the head and it triggers throughout all the nations. So this is what we have come into the understanding of, man. There's a source that's causing all this wickedness in the earth. Was it Proverbs 29, I think verse 16? When the wicked multiply transgression,
Sirach 10 verse 8, it says, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people into another. Just going back from Esau being wicked is going to be translated to a righteous lifestyle.
This is Sirach 35 and 18, New Revised Version. It say, and the Lord will not delay, neither will he be patient with them, till he crushes the loins of the unmerciful and repays vengeance on the nations. Till he take away the multitude of the insolent and breaks the scepters of the unrighteous. Talking about everything's by design, that's really it. You ask her, why is this society crumbling? Okay, well it goes into the Lord repaying vengeance. What did we do? You still connecting yourself to the elite. You are not a part of the elite. The Lord separated nations. He had each nation to rule at periods of time. That's where eon ages, worlds come from. When you're dealing with a higher form of wisdom, which the Lord established and gave us, It lets you know that you ain't supposed to connect yourself with the United States. You know, you're not of the people who are running this country at all. No matter how many inventions Jake done made, you are not of those people who are running this country. You should know that. And neither should that affect if you want the country to continue or not. You know, Stockholm Syndrome them took such a warp on your mind warp, whereas you can't see a society outside of this. You thinking if the white people start ruling, we're gonna look like the Africans. I don't want nothing parts of that. Well, come to find out that Ham ain't our people either, nigga. You're not of the Canaanites. You are of the Israelites who came and conquered the land. The Lord gave the land of the Canaanites to us, told us not to be like that. Yes, Israel was nothing like the Canaanites. That's why they took down the Canaanites. That's why David fought Goliath. They were two separate nations, dark skinned. The majority of the world is dark skinned. You can't go to India where they got people just as dark as you and they're going to see themselves as you. I'm black like you. You can't take that simple ass mentality in other lands because they're going to shoot an arrow right through your ass thinking that you one of them. All right? But you fight against so much the oppression of a so-called white man who don't look nothing like you that you think you just like every other dark race. You're not. You're not. You're the Israelites. And just because we was dark doesn't mean we didn't launch spears straight at them other dark races who the Lord set up against us, man. So it's all about repaying vengeance. It says on the nations. What nations? The nations who the Lord don't claim as his. Israelite, everything outside of an Israelite nation is known as a heathen. Okay, so you got to identify either you are a heathen or you an Israelite, man. But you a heathen, you fit for destruction, you fit for slavery. The Africans going into slavery, just like the so-called white man going into slavery. It says, till he repays man according to his deeds. Everything is a payment situation. That's why the Lord had to die. Why? Because it was a payment. All right? Then you say, you know, recompense for the blood. His blood was a recompense. His blood was an atonement. That's a payment to make things even again. You sin against your power, you in a deficit now. You owe him something for that. The fact that Yahawah's blood was laid out, man, that you was paid. That was the payment. He went up on a cross as a payment. So that when all hell breaks loose in the society 2,000 years later, we be delivered through that same payment. So only the Lord requires that which is past. It says, till he repays according to his deeds and the works of men according to their devices. So what about those who ain't covered by the repayment of the Yahawah's blood? They got to pay back on their own, which means their blood got to be shed. There's scriptures that tell you what happens when a man sheds blood. Except his blood shall be shed, the land will still be polluted. So there is a payment by blood that got to be done for what happened to these people. All right? The Lord said he required until I rise up against the prey, wait upon me. You know, this is what's against Jerusalem. How does that go? This is the plague of those that fought against Jerusalem. So the Lord was going to require everything that these nations did. We sinned against our power, but they sinned against, but they destroyed Israel. Right. And you shed innocent blood. The apple of his eye, you touched his anointing. So therefore, you're gonna have to repay for your own. It says, till he judges the case of his people. That's what we expecting to happen. The real justice for our people. Judgment brings about justice. If it's a fair, righteous judge, and Yahawashi is a righteous judge, it's the only judge we can call upon to. Lord, please judge this place. Free us from this bondage. We are your people. We're not any people. We are your people. It says, mercy is as welcome when he afflicts them, as clouds of rain in the time of drought. So how much more we need Yahawashi to show up because we in a drought. Look at our people, man. These people on this sign is at the bottom. They're going to stay at the bottom. Let's do that again. They're going to stay there no matter how much you incorporate economics into your strategy. And, you know, your woman is right for you and finally got a good wife. You got a good wife. As much as you imply all of these things that Esau do to get ahead, you still need judgment to happen in order to be successful really to get out of this hell. Because you could be successful in hell. Just like Jay-Z and these niggas. They successful in hell. Congratulations, you picked the wrong place to be successful. So now you gotta suffer again, like you was never successful in the first place. Niggas getting locked up, old victims coming back to the forefront. 20 years later, as Bill Cosby.
40 years later.
We found somebody from 1970. You don't even know what happened. Shit, I don't.
Push pops.
Where were you on this 1973? It's 2012. He talking about trying to figure out where he was in 1975 in Detroit. She claims you were, and they got evidence and shit. So you can't come against this man by yourself. Your money ain't gonna help you come against this man. You gotta use his lawyer and his court system, which is rigged in his favor. You might as well hang it up, which, you know, through the spirit is really spiritual. Now, brothers back here, we already hung it up, man. Through the spirit, we already hung it up. Oh yeah, we can't beat it. So yeah, nah, we ain't going. You know. But as Jake, when they wrong mind, which the Lord already told us about, the other option is you either beat him or join him. And Jake out here joining them. So all I gotta do is do what to make $1 million? Yeah, do this. And Jake gonna join him, man. It's an abomination what he gotta do, because Esau got that cup filled with abomination. You think you gonna make it in society, not drink from that cup that he gonna serve to everybody? He's serving it to his own people. Harvey Weinstein was dealing with his own kind like that, man.
Yeah.
What he dealing to? What is that? To whom will he be good if he's evil to himself?
I got something for you real quick, Spawn. This is the book of Isaiah 28 in verse 18. And your covenant with death shall be disannulled, and your agreement with hell shall not stand.
Yeah, so just like the elder mentioned, a lot of people, you know, they pretty much side with Esau. You can't beat them, join them. You know, and pretty much, you know, you got a lot of, even Israelite leaders, man, who are sold out to this devil. They made a covenant with an agreement, you know, to teach according to his way. What is it? 501c3. You know, that's a part of that covenant she made with Esau. See, but that's gonna be disannulled, man.
God, this is the book of Isaiah 28 in verse 18. And your covenant with death shall be disannulled.
Man, who was known as death? Esau. Yeah.
It says, and your agreement with hell shall not stand.
It's not gonna stand. So whatever pact you made with this damn devil to continue your stay here in America is not gonna stand, man. Because ultimately, hey, there's a day appointed for American destruction, man. Beautiful. All this shit that you niggas put your stock into is gonna go up in flames one day. And you're not considering that. Why? Because, you know, ultimately you don't have this vision. All right? You've been blinded by what the God of this world, Esau. That bad, that pretty penny. You know, it pretty much blocked your vision.
Yeah.
You see that? That's shining more than the gospel. Yeah.
If I may, and even then, once you look at a lot of these celebrities like Lil Wayne and even YK Osiris, they suffer from depression. So even if you think you so-called quote-unquote make it, you still fucked up in a sense. Even a lot of these NFL players, NBA players, niggas suffer from concussion, and it's a such thing called injury depression. Now you tear your ACL, and all of a sudden you could be back 100%, but you still don't feel the same because you basically laid down your life for Esau, and you didn't see it was fucking worth it, man.
Yeah, Mike Tyson suffered.
Yeah, Mike Tyson was suffering from it. It wasn't fucking worth it, man. You know, what Mike Tyson said, these fucking jokes, you know, they don't mean shit, man. They don't mean shit to me, man. They don't mean shit no more, man. And the reason why it took him 50 fucking years to understand that, bro. That's why we say the water Yahawashi, Yahawashi. He making us understand that shit now, bro.
We didn't have to get punched in the face.
Yeah.
We didn't have to walk across stage in spandex tights with a shirt off at an NFL draft combine.
You ain't had to have your ass cheeks out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't had to get popped.
Yeah.
And in order for us to be kings, we ain't gotta get popped, man. You know, we're gonna get rulership through righteousness.
You don't want it that bad.
Yeah, we don't want it that bad. So you can have that shit, Esau. You know?
But that's what happens when you think that money is your end all be all as far as peace, you know? This is what you're willing to do. You're willing to lay down your own morals. Damn, I know this fucked up, but I gotta you know, the council.
Hey, for the love of money.
For the love of money, it's the root of all evil.
And shit, you got Jakes that have
Many
left
men
the
are,
truth.
yeah, many men, you know, they have pretty much killed themselves with sorrow. Like the scripture say, because of it, for the love of money. Yeah,
Con, it says, when the overflowing scourge shall pass through, then he shall be trodden down bound.
Like, 'cause there's a time of trouble coming, you know? Esau's coming. Eventually, those coming that you made, hey, Esau, he gonna say, hey, I don't have no more need for you. I promise you, I'm gonna protect you in these times that I told you about, the New World Order. But when those times come, you're gonna see my true colors. You're gonna see Esau's true colors. And also, you're gonna see those nuclear missiles, man.
Yeah.
That's the end all be all. See that?
Con, just going back to the point. This is the book of Sirach 12, and I'm gonna start at verse 13. It says, who will pity a charmer that is bitten by a serpent, or any such as come now wild beasts?
Right, so who is charming Esau right now? That's certain. That's you 2/3 out there. You know? You're being pacified by this devil and you're submitting yourself to him, man. You know what I'm saying? So we're not gonna pity you, you know, when you get bit by this nigga. Because there's a snare that's coming. You know, when you get too close to a fucking snake, of course it's gonna bite you. Even Trump had that statement. You know I was a fucking snake. You know what I'm saying? That song, what's that song called? I know y'all know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Aesop Fable.
Yeah.
Aesop Fable.
Right. You know I was a fucking snake when you met me. You know what I'm saying? So here it is, you got prophets out here telling you this devil is a fucking snake, but you still trust him. Ultimately, you're gonna get bit, hey. We're not gonna give a fuck. We're not gonna care, man. You know? You know, give that nigga.
It's like my bad.
No,
You know, even the Apostle of God got a saying, with words don't teach, adversity will. So if you don't believe that this nigga the devil, the Lord gonna actually show you, man. And this is not the devil in the Roman Empire. This is the devil at his fucking height, bro. You know. So again, a lot of these jakes really regretting their situation. For even if you meet a guy that was in the industry before and shit like that, you can see on their face they regret their situation for laying down their bodies for Esau, man. Nigga got damn $2 million in the bank, but at the same time he's not fulfilled spiritually and emotionally and mentally, because why? He gave everything over into the so-called white man.
Yeah, he can't get that memory out of his mind that he was popped by an Edomite that night when he took a roofie or whatever.
80 years old.
You know what I'm saying? And that shit just weighs heavy on his soul. Now he on drugs, strung out, thinking about suicide. It's the thing that you got to deal with when you make it onto the top, man. You got to name this world. More than likely, your ass gets some bomb shit.
Yeah.
You get there. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
No, you good.
Okay. Look a little bit more. It says, so one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins.
His sins, see? Doing the same shit Esau be doing. Popping one of those trains, boards, Diddy, man. Prime example. You know what I'm saying? This nigga's sick. Yeah.
It says, who will pity?
Who will pity? We're not gonna pity.
It says, for a while he will abide with thee, but if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry.
And that's that covenant with Esau, that devil that represents devil. Yeah. See that? A while he will abide with you. Yeah, I'm gonna give you the purpose. You know, you teach this, you teach that. But when the time comes, hey, he's gonna hop on you like that lion. It's on the 10th chapter. Pounce on the prey. You got it?
If I could add to you, just to that point, Diddy is an example, because hip hop has been dying for the last 15 years, if you want to be quite frank about it, like the money is. When Esau saw that, because the brother Abba had brought it out, when the money started to dwindle in hip hop, was how it was indicative, because everybody started beefing. That's the only way you can make money, because everybody was doing songs at one point. It was lucrative for Esau to make money. And when hip hop became unprofitable for him again, Jake got to start to get into all these avenues, and Diddy started to He wanted to become a liquor brand, a liquor brand. And what did he speak to? He spoke to the fact that, we got a glass ceiling. Esau's holding me back. Yeah. The moment he spoke to,
it's like because he's trying to make the cognac or something like that.
Yeah.
Even though he tried to make it in Esau world, this nigga don't know that you're gonna be seen just what? As a fucking nigga. No, I don't. This is not your society. It's a saying. You didn't live on Plymouth Rock, man. No one knows, nigga. We built this kingdom, man. But this kingdom wasn't built for us. And Diddy had to go through all that bullshit just to find that out. Bill Cosby had to do all this shit just to find that out. Even NFL contractors. I know a nigga that was in the NBA for a little bit. His rookie season, nigga fucked up his ankle. They never called him back. That's why I said in a while, he will abide for thee in a while. You know what I'm saying? He will tear with you for a while. As soon as he begin to fall, this nigga gonna you know what I'm saying?
He do it to his own.
He that eats himself, to whom shall he be
Britney
good?
Spears should be a tragic tale of warning for any Edomite or any Jake that's coming into the industry.
Yeah.
Look how he parade this drug. Man, she's a shell of her former self.
Yeah.
But he can still use her. But he can't use Diddy, so what? Now he done threw you to the wolves. Now Jake is a laughing stock to be made fun of. No, he's the homosexual. He's the sexual demon.
R. Kelly nigga got a million hits, man. And this nigga, R. Kelly actually kind of fired back. He got a song called Residuals. In prison, nigga released it, but basically, while R. Kelly in jail, they still collecting his check.
But they
and that's what Esau always do. This is why we're knowing who the devil is, the deceitful guy. He's a Sting, he's a Stein, man. He's an Amalekite. You know, and again, it takes a lot of Jake to go through all these hills and high waters for this guy to treat you wrong, to know that he's devil. This nigga treated you wrong, and he treated your grandparents wrong, and your grandparents for that, and your grandparents for that, man. This beef don't just go back into this society when the NFL came out. No, this shit go back into Cain and Abel, bro. So if Cain and like Abel, why the fuck did you think that Cain's children were like us today, man? You out your motherfucking mind, bro. This the book of Sirach 12 and verse 16. What's it like?
No, you good. Just add on to your point, Scripture speaks about those smooth words, you know. Speak smooth words into it. That's how he entraps Jacob, you know, by giving him peaceful words. You know, oh, it sounds good. I like how this sounds, you know what I'm saying? But they don't know there's an ulterior motive behind his actions. You know, speaking these peaceful words like being able going into like that. Like Edomite down here, they're smiling in your face. You know, but inwardly, these motherfuckers, they thinking of all kind of ways to snare your ass, man. That pretty much encapsulates the minds of Esau in general, you know? Yep, 4 tongues. They're gonna speak to you peacefully, but behind the other tongue, another light, man, they're gonna talk shit about you. All right, they got another counsel against you. You know, that's pretty much a new world order. That you got
Lies from the beginning.
Yep.
There's no truth in them.
That's it. But Jake don't know that, man. That's why they're gonna be snared. You got it.
It says an enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips.
That's it. Sweetly with his lips. You got it.
But in his heart, he imagined how to throw thee into a pit.
Right, so here's imagine how to put your ass into the grave, man. See that? This is the motive of Esau Edom. Alright? The son of perdition. He was designed to destroy and kill you Israelites out there, man. No matter how you perceive it, no matter how he come at you. This is the Edomite. In his mind, he can't change.
Yeah.
He gotta think that way. He's programmed to kill you, man.
He's not confused.
He's not confused. He knows.
You confused.
You confused. Hey, you gotta figure it out, man. That's why Lord raised up his men to put you Israelites on the game about this devil.
Yeah.
America's a fucking snare in the trap.
It's like you subject to listen to the prophets. Esau already know what the deal is. You know, he ain't been Stockholm syndrome. He ain't been taught a lie. You know, he ain't confused about who you are. You know, that's why they call it supremacy. Jake want to be equal. Esau like equality. Hell with equality again, but that's the king mind. That's the kingdom mentality. When you come back to this truth, you really got to put on, as a king, you got to put on a righteous, kingly mentality. Ain't no such thing as, you know, the gospel without the kingdom. The kingdom is a part of the gospel. In it's written that we shall be made a kingdom of priests. Is it a kingdom? We shall be a kingdom of priests and kings. You know, so that's a part of the nation. The rule over other nations is a part of the doctrine. You gotta go.
Yeah, I mean, if I may add on it, because why is that not no avenue of Esau for Jake? Jake really ain't got no political avenue or a seat in the city or a seat in the state. to go. The only avenue Jake go is to be a rapper or a dancer or a fucking entertainer, bro.
Voter.
Listen, and hopefully you hit and Esau invite you to the bedroom. You look so good and you can sing a little bit. Esau gonna invite you and pop you behind closed doors. There's Jake hope to make it in this society, bro. You know, but in the kingdom of heaven, we're gonna make it through our righteousness. We're making it through our righteousness right now, bro. You feel me? And that's the standard that we setting up, because a lot of Jake have sold themselves short because they grew up only knowing Esau. They didn't grow up having a higher mindset of learning, or even a higher mindset of how to see themselves. Only time you seen the Jake is when he was running the ball or we had a microphone in his hand. You never really seen the Jake pushing down orders, bro. And the reason why, because Esau made Jake sit in that low position, bro. You know? I'm gonna finish this off, though, Salaki. It says, he will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood.
There you go. So if you find an opportunity, man, he's not gonna be satisfied with blood, showing you his ulterior motive. So when you look at this NWO, it's really all a trap and a snare to, you know, to get you Jake stuck into, because ultimately once he gets you into that pit, the way, you know, he can do what he wants with you, he's not gonna be satisfied with blood. That's why you got concentration camps being talked about, you know. That's why you got guillotines being talked about, right? Societal collapse is already geared towards getting at you Israelites out there, because Esau understands that his life, his livelihood is at stake. He lost his birthright in the Jacob, and he's motivated and fueled by that, all right, to destroy you Israelite. But you don't know it. Like the elder said, you the one who's confused, man. You know, Esau knows what the fuck he's doing. That's why he can laugh in your face. He speaks peaceful word because he understands that there's an objective to his motive as far as getting you niggas out the way. You know, so that he can rule forever. Right? That's what it all comes down to, man. You know what I'm saying? So
Inward mind. Inward mind. Thoughts. That his house is talking to you, man.
That's it. But this nigga, he doesn't want to give up the power. See, he understands that he lost his birthright. But in his mind, there's some way that he can get that back. You know, it speaks about in the book of Genesis, 27? The days of mourning for my father's hand, and then when I slay my brother Jacob. You know what I'm saying? So this is the mindset of Esau, that perpetual hatred. He always wanted to slay you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans. Only thing different between these times and times past is that his acceptance, he has perfected it. You know, his peaceful words, he has perfected it. You know? So now it's just not so straightforward. Now he can kill you secretly with your food, certain chemicals, to alter your mindset, to give you autism, okay? Certain things that give you counseling, right? Certain medications that are geared towards your DNA, you know? That's able to alter your well-being, but it won't fucking harm the Edomite.
Sickle cell.
Yeah, sickle cell. See, you wonder why you the one with the most underlying issues and shit, in which now they can target you in the time of a crisis. Like the C-19 thing, you was the main target. That was a crafty counsel from the devil, man. You know what I'm saying? So this devil is real slick in his words. Yeah, he's gonna come to you as if he wants peace. All right, but Emily, he wanna put your ass into a pit.
Con. Sirach 12:17. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first.
There you go. So it's really putting you up on game about Esau. If you find yourself being in adversity, whatever it may be, you're gonna find this nigga there. Like the nigga who throws a rock, hit you in the back of the head. Who threw that? Let's investigate. Let's see who threw that rock. Same time, this nigga, he helped you. Yeah, he the one that got to aim on your head. You know what I'm saying? He's the one that shoot at you secretly. You know what I'm saying? So hey, this is who we're pointing out here. Esau Edom, who secretly tried to harm and destroy you Israelites like that. This is the secret council, man. The cunning hunter. That's it. The cunning hunter, man. Very deceptive.
If I could, to add to the brother's point, Esau would do that when you go down range he would take one of his military vehicles and he'll take it into a heavily congested area where they know the hate for the U.S. is heavy, and he will make it seem as though it got blown up by them, by the people of the locals. It got blown up by the locals. The locals would run around and be like, oh shit, we got one. You'll catch one Edomite that'll come out and be like, okay, bet. And then he'll gun every last one of them down. Huh? That's how he do. He's right there. He's always right there, whether it's a celebration or it's a thing that Esau's in the midst of it.
And even,
He
and
set it up.
even his weaponry. Because they say black on black crime. But this guy shot with a Smith & Wesson. Who was Smith & Wesson, man? You go back into the history, it will always go back into what? The so-called white man. Because here upon the planet Earth, he's the epitome of death, man. Even another thing, the quote-unquote medical field. Once you go into that, you gotta say certain words, because they ain't hit you with medical blase information. Because once they hit you with that, for lack of better words, that's basically you exposing them for all the wicked and evil deeds that they have done. They'll give you blood pressure medication that'll mess up your kidney. Now you gotta get kidney medication. Now that medication messing up your liver. It's a cycle of death, man. You know, everybody think death gotta be a violent thing like you shooting out in the middle of the street. Death can be slow, bro.
Yeah, cigarettes.
Slow and scary. Cigarettes. Cancer. You know what I'm saying?
Fit out the death.
Nigga had an ulcer in his stomach for 13 years, and the Lord finally took him out, bro. But who he get that ulcer from having to die to Esau? You know?
That's the part that secret council. Reading Psalm 64. It goes back into the higher ups who are issuing out these things which affect our people, man. Mentally, spiritually, physically. And they wonder why they're going through the things because they're going through. But here it is, you got the prophets that are telling you straight up, hey, it's because of the source Esau Edom, so-called white man. All right? The devil what the Bible speaks of, who is running circles around you because you're destroyed for a lack of knowledge. That was his whole goal. You know, that's get them away from the fact that they are under the covenant of the Most High. They held understanding. That's to take away their identities. That's to take away the things which produces life unto them as far as the law. Let's let them eat pork. Let's let them eat all these abominations that the Lord knows that if they do, then they're going to sin against that power, and then they're going to be affected by it. Let's push forth this philosophy. Let's push forth these things. So now, that's why you see Jacob in a lower state, deprived of knowledge, under curses, you know, and pretty much in a state of confusion, man, not knowing what the hell is going on, because the Lord has set up Esau Edom to facilitate that through his rhetoric, through his philosophy. So we in a time when light has shined upon this darkness, this dark cloud has covered the earth, and Jake hates it. They hate being told that, hey, you can't eat fucking pork anymore. You can't worship Jesus Christ. That's a false god. You can't subscribe to being Islam. You can't worship Buddha. You can't be a fucking a real nigga no more. You know? You can't do your own thing. You got to come back into obedience. And that's offensive to Jake out there in general, man, because they have been trained up in a way that's rebellious against Yahawashi. So that's what signifies that only a few are going to be saved, because the majority are going to continue in that way of Esau Edom, all right? Thinking that they can do what the hell they want to do, and they're going to find themselves in the midst of destruction. See that? So the pathway is very narrow.
I had that Psalm 55. This is Psalm 55 and 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart.
Yep, but war was in his heart. No prime example, dead 500 peace treaties that they made with all the natives, and they broke every last one of them, man. Those are those smooth words. You know what I'm saying? 500 treaties. Didn't keep not one of them. This is the same fucking devil. He does not change. See? But behind his back, as he was getting all those peace treaties, he was thinking about how I'm going to destroy these Indians. You see that?
Yeah, that big beautiful thing. He came with it. Hey, it's gonna help the Lord. It's gonna help the Lord to the middle class Americans. But really, when you go into it, all of the senators that signed it, they said, "Yo, we didn't read this, man. We didn't know that. Hey, he was gonna hike up 74% for the middle class and another 30% for the lower class, and he was gonna give a 20% tax rate to the elite. You didn't know that, but you voted for the beautiful bill, man, hoping that it was gonna what? It was gonna bring forth traffic to America. So you cheered on the tariff, but really he set forth all that beautiful bill to undermine American interests, man. Why else is Elon Musk? He's separating himself from the Trump administration now because of the big beautiful bill. But those are those smooth words that he spoke to you people. Now you have Americans out here saying, damn, I voted against my own interest. Well, you fell for the smooth words. We on this side, we like, man, hey, we for Trump, but it ain't for the same reasons you for Trump. We know he finna send this place to a hell in a handbasket. Continuing, it says, you got it up.
The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords.
There you go, man. All right? This man is all about war. See that? So, hey, same thing as today. You got, you had the Tuskegee experiment. You all know about smooth words. Behind that, he was trying to destroy your DNA. Same thing with the C-19, man, There's a plague out here.
Yeah.
There's a virus that you need to be protected from. We're going to visit those underlying issues with what BG White said. First, we're going to visit the blacks and the natives. You know what I'm saying? That's all smooth words. If adversity come upon you, you're going to find Esau there first.
Yeah.
To administer whatever he wants to give you to destroy you. The same thing with the chips. The same thing, man.
If I could
So
add,
the scripture teaches you not to go to this nigga Esau for your relief, man. At some point, you have to depend on Yahawashi and not Esau and his sister. Because again, it's gonna snare you, just like in times past. It always snared our people. And even more so in these times when that chip is made mandated. See that? You got it.
I got something for you real quick. This is the book of Psalms 10 and verse 8. It says, he sitteth in the lurking places of the villages, in the secret places doth he murder the innocent.
Right. So these are the places of the villages. This is pretty much dark saying for these high councils, these secret places in which you can't find Esau, all right? Them the top banking elites in which they come together and they counsel, they commune about how, we can target Jake.
down to your city councilmen.
Yeah.
Gun.
Yep.
Jake had work hours.
That's it, huh? It says, in the secret places doth he murder the innocent.
Yeah, the secret places, all right, the think tanks that you murder the innocent. Brother, going into now, you got many different plots and schemes that's targeted specifically for you Israelites. Again, your food, your water. All right, in the hood, man, your water's polluted. You got the worst fucking foods. They got rap chip. What the chip
Yeah,
called?
rap chip.
Rap chip, man. They advertise. Anytime you Fago, you know about the Fago, man. Drive nigga up the fucking ball. I seen that shit first. I was like, damn, man. I was training somebody, man, and he drunk a great Fago, and his whole countenance just fucking changed. He started getting super hyped. I was like, damn, this shit real. I never forget that shit, man. That shit
Jake
real.
started praying, man.
Man, of course, I hyperventilating and shit. I'm like, whoa. A great Fago, bro. But yeah, it shows that Esau being a lad working on how to manipulate Jake's mind. They put it in your chicken, they put it in your food, all right? You go on to a Piggly Wiggly, you get your meats and shit, all right? Whatever you get from there, it's poison. You got the worst of the worst, It's all targeted towards you. Your water system, again, is fucking polluted, man.
That's it.
You wonder why you sick and going through shit. Because you got the fucking enemy that's watching over your resources. Who's trying to fucking kill you. And Jake don't believe that.
Got some back here real quick, I'll jump back. This is the book of Psalm 64 and verse 6. It says, they search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search.
That's it, they accomplished a diligent search, man. They studied Jake DNA, Even going back to the time of slavery, they would have the Jake woman, they would pretty much, manipulate and do research on her. Yeah. The man also, man. And they would find out what pressure points, or they would do anything, you know how they do, man.
You got me had on that too, huh?
Yeah.
Because again, Jake women and Jake Israelite people run different than everybody else. Because one perfect example is like a Moabite. A Moabite can eat cats and dogs all day and they be normal. But with Jake, it'll be a reaction or two.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So again, that's why even like sickle cell, that's a black-only disease. But even you go into like hypertension, high blood pressure, diabetes, for lack of better words, Jake dominate those type of sicknesses, man. And do you think that Esau just it's a coincidence? No, this nigga be in the lab picking shit up, man, and pushing out, what is called free samples to see how that's gonna react into your body, man. Like another thing, I seen that Sprite tea. I wouldn't drink that shit for all in the world, man. A bride told me that shit tastes like roach juice. I used to drink Sprite a lot, you know what I'm saying? But even then, They know that's something that Jake run to. Jake loves sweet tea. Jake can run to like a new drink or an Arizona or something like that. A Fago, hot chips, hot fries, and things like this. These are certain things that's privilegely set to what? The so-called urban community. And you don't think these different things have different chemicals in you so you can bug out and go the fuck off?
Yeah. Oh, man. That's just the fact that the brother just said that is proof that why you need prophets. Because that's not going to come on none of the news sources. You're not going to see it on CNN. You're not going to hear about it in your schools. It's just going to come out here right on the streets. Whereas, you know, we be out here hearing each other say certain things and we taking heat, you know? Because, yeah, that's a new product. I see it all the time, too. That's Sprite tea. And even myself, I was curious. I was like, damn, you know, but hearing how the brother just put it,
I don't know.
I'm done. I'm through. That's the spirit that came out like that. You know? But that's exactly how they market it. They know. You gotta understand, man. Even you ain't as smart as you think you is in comparison to Esau. What does the scripture say about Esau? Like, yeah, wiser than you. All right, yo, he puts in the work. Stop thinking that just because you bumped into, I bumped into him the other day. He was stupid. Man, Jake's simple as fuck, man. And then, but here it is. That ain't the chemistry Edomites that's on your ass right now. But he also branched in with the psychology industry that could tell him, no, don't just create the chemical, but you gotta psychologically set it up so that, come on, man, this thing is well thought out, man. Esau don't got nothing but all day and all type of, he prints the money to be able to pay these, I was about to say that word, to pay these individuals to create this system, man. Whereas prophets, that's all we have is each other in the right mind to be able to help each other see the light where as far as Esau could go. So if you're not tapped in and in tune, now Esau playing it there, because Esau got to take a right turn and you just went straight. It's like following a man. So, all right, so you already lost him. He done went around. Now he in back of you. So you got to have prophets, man. Seers. So to be able to see, all right, ahead of time what Esau coming to, man. And that right there is a pure example. If I may, I got another example of how Jake is different than the rest of these nations. This is the Exodus, first chapter. Now, during this time, Pharaoh was trying to search out, he trying to search out Israelites because we was in slavery, but we started growing in number. And they had, basically, they was privy to, we was outnumbering them. If I may, I'm gonna read. I got it. Exodus 1:9 say, the NLT, it say, he said to his people, look, the people of Israel now outnumber us and are stronger than we. So this is all it took for Pharaoh to line us up. All right, that's an up north saying for you going to set us up to be killed. It say, when you go down, verse, 18. So the king of Egypt called for the midwives because he put out a decree to kill all the newborns. Okay? This is what leaders do when they have the Israelites in captivity. They see us flourishing in any kind of way, from the ditties on down, and it's going to be drama, set. It say, verse 18, so the king of Egypt called for the midwives. Why have you done this? Because they wasn't killing the babies no more. They put the midwives, aka today's term, the doctors, on to kill the newborn babies once they come out the womb. That's how serious it is. It says, but they was keeping them alive. It says, they saw the king of Egypt called for the midwives. Why have you done this? He demanded. Why have you allowed the boys to live? That's how you depopulate a people, by the way. Slaughter the boys. Notice they went after the boys. That's with a seed. It says the Hebrew women are not like the Egyptian women. This is the midwives. It said the midwives replied, they are more vigorous and have their babies so quickly that we cannot get there in time. So the Hebrew women was so different. They was popping out the babies before the midwives got there. That's something that they ain't seen before. It's like, look, as soon as we hear they pregnant, before they even get there, their baby's there. We can't kill them in time. Showing you that even the Egyptian women is known, even amongst Egyptians, to be different. That show you that the Egyptian women wasn't having their babies the same way. Jake women pop out a baby, boom, you can see it. You know, but that's to show you the study and the intrigue of Jake and everything, evolving how we had children, down to how the children sit up. They done did studies on how Jake babies can sit up faster than the rest of these nations babies. Jake babies look around different than the rest of these nation babies. They count, they learn things quicker than the rest of these nation babies. We a threat from infancy. You've been a threat since you've been born. Jake, simple as Jake. So yeah, they indoctrinated you later on in life, but since you was a baby, you was posing a threat because you're showing that damn signs. So needless to say, Esau is at his wit's end with us, and it's coming to the point where he just got a stage all-out breakout, where he got to come at us. You got
This is Proverbs 4:16. You can break it down. It says, "For they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall."
Yeah, this is Esau's whole existence. It says that he sleep not. Nigga can't have a good night rest unless he knows in his mind he can fuck somebody up. Primarily, you know, as a element went into like the ancient Egyptians. You know how they would try to kill out the newborn. Now, when you have a baby, the first thing they want to do is shoot your baby up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
all
yeah.
kind of chemicals and shit. That's why you got autism at all time. You know, with the foods, as we was going into everything is a fucking weapon with this dope. This is the only way he can sleep. If not, he would be up all night.
See?
No, you know what I'm saying? Knowing that.
In line, bro.
Yeah, he'll be all fucking night like damn. But now that he has accomplished this amongst the majority of people, he can actually have a good night rest. But again, in the back of his mind, you know, you got the prophets out here who are coming out of it. You know, you got to be lit. See that?
We putting you on game that even the Edomites don't want you to know about. This is why eventually they got to shut it down. They got the legislation. The brother just sent it to the chat room. It's lucky. The brother just sent it to the chat room in which anybody who speak out of Israel against Israel is going to be locked up or, you know, sentenced or, you know, they're going to hit you where it hurts. They coming for you. Anybody speaking Israel. And it really ain't it. How many of Jakes you know speaking against Israel? It ain't no Jakes out here. You can't bump into a Jake speaking against Israel, the state of Israel. Because Jake do what they master tell him to do. He sort of speaking Israel. So what they doing is they coming directly at us. This is where you get put on game at. But Jake will walk right past it. Think about it. This is the goal. We giving out gems. The scripture said, "Cast your pearls not amongst swine." These are pearls. But Jake will just walk right by and just decide like, nah, they ain't talking about shit. All right, well, you know what that means, Jake? That you ain't up on what we up on. You ain't up on what Esau trying to do to you. You got it. You know? So you lacking that.
All right, this is Proverbs. I read that. "For they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall."
Right, because you know, we are the sons of God who fell away, so they want to continue that legacy. You know, by causing us to go against our power. You know what I'm saying? So as long as they can keep us in the midst of sin, and you know, they always had a reign over us. That's what makes them sleep at night. Right? You see that? So we're in a time, you know, that's the severity, the importance of Yahawashi, man. Because without Yahawashi, there would be no possibility of us being redeemed and being in our rightful position. Because you know we're under the law. So hey, why do Yahawashi Moshe, God? You know, for allowing us to come back to His good grace when we make it. know what I'm saying? So hey, with that, Lord willing, y'all edified. We give all praise and glory unto
Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, Ba'ashem, Qadash.
double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone. It's always the truth. And much respect to the Akim out there laboring in his work. Peace and salutations to both of that who are scattered abroad. That you would say shalom.
Shalom.
Hey,
Right now.
nah, you heard?